I write now in the final moments of my own wretched mind, knowing that soon I will no longer be. There will be no burial, no monument, no trace of the man who once bore my name. There will be only the ragged remains of this manuscript, scrawled in a shaking hand upon torn pages, abandoned in the dust where my body will soon crumple and rot. I was a pilgrim once, a seeker of truth. I journeyed to the Black Monastery, where men claim enlightenment lies beyond the dissolution of self. I sought to shed the burdens of this world, to surrender to the vast and endless tide of the infinite. I did not know then what infinity truly meant. For 7 days I walked. The world around me grew more distant with every step. I do not mean in the way that a traveler forgets the comforts of home, nor in the way that a man lost in thought feels time slip past him. No, the world itself withdrew from me. The skies stretched further overhead, its vastness swallowing even the sun. The land, once firm beneath my feet, seemed to peel away, dissolving into strange and shifting shapes, as if the ground itself had begun to forget what it was supposed to be. And on the 7th day, the silence broke. I felt it before I heard it. A tremor, not of the earth, nor the air, but of something else. A shuddering in the fabric of all things, a dark, evil whisper in the marrow of my bones. I looked up, and the sky opened. Like old flesh parting under a dull knife, it peeled open, its blackness uncoiling into shapes I could not understand, could never understand. There was something on the other side. Not a thing, not a presence, not something that could be described in any human tongue. But it saw me, and it laughed. I do not mean laughter as we know it, not the mirth of a child, nor the cruel mockery of men. It was before laughter, beyond laughter. A great and heaving expulsion of amusement so vast, so impossible, that it ripped through me like a shriek of tearing sinew. It had been waiting. Not for me, not for anyone. It had simply been waiting since the dawn of all things, waiting for this moment. The moment something small, something finite, something pitiful would crawl far enough into its own madness to see it. And now that I had, it laughed like a beast eating its own young, laughed like a man watching the world burn and finding it beautiful, laughed because it had finally at last, after all of time and untime, found something funny. And the moment I heard it, I knew why the sky had grown so empty, why the earth had fled from my steps. The world was recoiling. I was never supposed to have heard this. I was never supposed to have seen, because now that I had, I could never unsee it. The sound does not stop. It will not stop. It shakes through me, unwinding my thoughts, plucking apart the pieces of my mind like a great hand, peeling the petals from a flower. I see myself now, my body shaking and frail, my fingers scraping against paper, leaving bloody etches on its surface. I do not recognize this thing that wears my flesh. because I am already gone. The last thing I will ever know is that the universe, the great and infinite unknown, is laughing, and it will never stop.